Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another upload of It's a Dyer Thing Raw here. And before we go any further ahead, don't forget to hit the notification and the subscription button. This way you'll be up to date on everything that we do. Well, today is going to be talking about the things I do and I dislike about the Yamaha 2024 Xmax. Let's get to it. So, yeah, I've been riding around with this Xmax now for 3 days, and you know what? For the most part, it's pretty fun. It's a fun little bike. I mean, it's a great scooter, but there are a couple of things that I really dislike about it, and let's kind of go over the dislikes before we go over the likes, just so we can get the negativity out of the way. No, it's not that bad. So, you know what? There's three main things that I'm kind of like, I'm not annoyed about or really hate, and it's got no fault on the actual bike itself. I mean, you know what, I understand it's got to do with production, it's got to do with keeping costs low and stuff like that, but you know what, yeah, okay, you know what, it's still a sub $8,000 unit. That's Canadian retail pricing, so 7,000 I think USD. But you know what, they could have done the tiniest little things, because I know they got the product there, and I know it shouldn't have cost much more than a couple of pennies to fix, right? So this unit itself, so front and back brake only, right, with the throttle. There's no gears, there's no clutch, there's no nothing. So we are running a hydraulic system here, and it's basically a direct lever. So this is my biggest hate, I guess you would want to call it, my biggest diss in regards to the scooter. You know how some or most motorcycles, even on a front hydraulic brake system up front, you have like a 5-point adjustment which adjusts your lever length, right, or how far the lever is set from your handlebars. Why could they not have installed the same thing on the scooter for both front and back, right? Have a 5-point adjuster, so it allows you to pull your levers a bit further forward or bring them a little bit further back. Just for those people who don't have such big hands, I find the actual brake, like the back brake, really it kicks in right here. It's kind of really annoying, because it's not just only far out, but it is super sensitive, especially on the back brake, right? Come on, it's not that bad, guys. There you go. So we got to try that braking. But I wish I wouldn't have to go reach out so far, because now like my thumb is what's holding my hand onto the grip, where you know what, if you had smaller hands, I think you would be reaching out quite far. And it's the same thing as well for the front brake, right? So, and I wish you had the option to slightly change the adjustment to adjust the angle of both front and back brake levers, right? So if you're a higher rider, you're going to find that you're going to be tending to have your hands more like this, because you're like that. If you're a lower rider, then it's a little bit, but you know what, why does it have to be planted out straight, where you know what, some people like to have it a little bit more like that, right? So a little bit sporty. So that's my number one frustration about this, about the scooter. Number two, the seat. Now again, that's going to be really rider dependent, right? So if you're a taller rider, like I'm almost 6 foot, Leeview that was riding my buddy here, he was riding it just the other day, and he's 6'3". That's the one thing I do find, is that you're not kind of leaned over, you're really sitting on your tailbone, right? And with the seat position of this, I find it's the little hump that goes up on the back is pushed a little bit too far forward, which, you know what, it's great because it kind of stops you from slipping back, but it really puts a pressure point right on your tailbone. And by doing that, I find within a short time, I tend to become a little bit more uncomfortable. Now, what are you doing? So there are some accessory seats out there, right? So you know what, you can change the seats. I think the overall shape is the same. It's just the material on the outside and on the inside that's going to differ. But in regards to the tailbone comfort, right, because you're really sitting straight up, you know, you're putting all that weight. You're not distributing it like on a naked bike or a sport bike where you got 3 points of access. This is really like more like one, which is your butt. So that's the seat. I'm not a huge fan of it because, again, within a short time, my butt hurts, right? Watch you, car. Windshield height, right? So again, this is rider height position. I find that it comes and it hits your helmet direct on. Especially if you're traveling any faster speeds, you'll get that buffeting feeling. Now that can be corrected by getting a taller windshield. It would have been really cool if there was an adjustable windshield on this. I mean, you know, if they kind of integrated the system which is on the FJR, where you know what, you got to clamp and then you can kind of click up 2 different positions, that would be really cool. But if you're a shorter rider, you wouldn't really feel it. The last kind of hiccup is the applications that you have to download and then grant access to your locations at all times, all the time, not just when you're using the app, but at all times. And the constant notifications and the constant reminders, even when you're not using the vehicle, it's kind of like annoyance, because then you really have to kind of kill the app, shut it down, stop the notifications just when you're not using the vehicle, so you don't get alerts and just become just annoyed with all this nonsense, right? So I wish it had a little bit more freedom, a little bit more yeah. So that's just my biggest thing, right? I mean, if it wasn't as annoying applications, that would be really cool. But I mean, the application has to be there. The 2 applications, right? You got the Yamaha Ride Connect and the Garmin Street Cross, right? So you do need those in order to kind of go through your systems and to get information that you want, right? So but other than that, on the good side, back to the application. The application really works really well. The navigation is really cool. It's very intuitive. It works pretty cool. There's not much of a lag. Again, depending on your mobile device, depending on your network connection, that would definitely differ. So again, there's no GPS on this unit. It is mirroring the information off of your mobile device, where then you can keep your mobile device in your pocket or in your backpack. It has nothing to do with this, right? So once it's connected, you know, you do get all the informations around. You can enter in your waypoints, which is really nice, but then you have to do that off of the mobile device and then send it to this, which then you'll communicate. So you can't enter in information on the mobile or on the unit. You have to do that on the device. But once it's done, once it's set, and you've saved it as a favorite, it's very easy to navigate through and then pinpoint it out. You get a lot of alerts. So you get the current speed road that you're on. Once you change that, the changing of the speed actually is quite quick. So the notification does change quite often and very easily, and it's pretty seamless. It's not bad. And then you get a lot of the notifications in regards to speed cameras and red traffic light cameras, school zones and stuff like that. So you can pick and choose what you want to have showing. So that's really good. That's pretty cool. The communication between the unit and the rider, I like it. I think it's really well done. It's really set. You can have your headset connected as well to it, so it's super clear. I mean, the connection and there's no distortion. It's really nice. The music, so you can also change your music. You can see your music on here as well as you're going through. So again, that's pretty cool. The simplicity of this unit is really nice, right? So it's really nothing to it. It is just an oversized scooter, right? It's a 300cc scooter. There's plenty of power. I mean, it gets up and it goes. That's really cool on that. Cargo room, there's tons of cargo room. I know. Here, let's just open our seat. So you have enough room here for 2 helmets, right? So that's a lot of cargo space. That's really cool. So you're sitting up one like that, which has got enough headroom there for the helmet, and the other one here, which then sits there, and then you can kind of put your other stuff and whatnot like that. So it's pretty simple. It shows you exactly how to put your helmets there. So that's simple. Look at that. It's even got a night light. That's really smart, eh? Then you have a lockable front lid, right? So this is lockable. You can put your, your valuables in there as well, and then know that, if somebody's going to break into it, they're going to break into it, right? But I mean, I'm not going to be worried about that. And then you got your push open one here. This is for the basic stuff. But other than that, it's pretty simple. So, yeah. it's a nice scooter. It's a fun ride. It handles really well. It's got radial tires, right? So to do the streets and stuff like that, I mean, you can get some really nice lean angles, and it's solid. It's a planted scooter. It's really, really nice. It's super smooth. So there you have it, guys. That's my dislikes and my really likes of the scooter. The styling, the colors, everything, the combination of this works really, really nice. So it's an overall pretty cool machine. For a sub $8,000 unit, this is really, really nice, right? Lots of accessories out there. You can put some luggage, you can put some gear, pretty cool stuff. Comfortable for 2 people on there. This is just that hump that I'm talking about with the tailbone, but that again, that's a personal thing. It all depends on the people and not the actual machine. But for the most part, I think everybody's pretty happy with it. So till next time, but guys, be safe, have fun, be good. Don't forget, keep it covered.